Well, hi, everybody, and welcome to our Toy Fair session called Welcome to the Pragmatic Metaverse. As you know, in a normal year, you would all be walking around miles and aisles of great toys, but we're not together this year. So we're using this opportunity to get you educated about the digital transformation every industry is incurring, including yours. And so you're going to hear us speaking about the metaverse a lot. But honestly, the metaverse today is a really loose concept. Depending on who's talking about it, that's what the metaverse is. So Roblox and Fortnite, they see it as an immersive gaming atmosphere where you bring your avatar into a game. Meta, what we used to call Facebook, sees it as all based on those headsets on the Oculus and an immersive experience. Others see it as building a digital twin of everything that ever existed in the real world. And so it can be sort of daunting to sort through all of this and figure out where your company belongs in the metaverse. And that is why we've invited 4 companies to show you their versions of what we're calling, thanks to Andrew Nash, who you'll meet in a moment, we're calling the Pragmatic Metaverse. They're immersive environments for you to use today for meetings, for events, to invite customers, to collaborate, brainstorm, create showrooms. And the companies you'll meet today all have something in common, and that's that they provide immersive 3D environments where you can do business similar to the business you do in the real world, and you can expand your digital footprint dramatically. So I'm going to introduce them, and then I'm going to ask them to show you what they're doing, and then we'll get back together for a chat. So first up, I'd like to introduce Steve Leamer. Steve is the founder and executive producer of NewSky XR Productions. And NewSky has a really interesting way of bringing you into the action. So Steve, why don't you take it away and show us what you got?
Fantastic. Thanks, Robin, and hello, everyone. I am going to dive into the overall introduction. I'm actually representing both Tilt and NewSky, and it's important for me to say Tilt too, because Tilt founded NewSky. And Tilt is a live face-to-face event production company, business meeting communications company. And 2 years ago, I was in Milan when COVID spiked, and all of a sudden we pivoted to fully virtual then, and we created NewSky then 2 years ago. And NewSky, actually, I love Andrew, I love Pragmatic Metaverse because we are very pragmatic at Tilt, and we realized that our clients needed a very customizable solution because not everyone is comfortable in fully kind of gaming technology. So we started with actually a 2D wrapper for our metaverse, which is an important part of what I'm going to share with you, which includes full registration capabilities for all attendees, a customizable lobby scenario that can be fully immersive, as well as 2D and just easy for many people to adjust to. And a key part also is individualized agendas that are very clickable, that can go to any aspect of an event or an experience. And then chatting is also an important part of our metaverse, where you can have individual kind of chatting, and that chatting can be audio, it can be text-based, and it can be also video, very similar to what we're doing right now in our platform here. As well as we can easily track people's attendance during the event. We have live streaming capability where you have a typical didactic kind of presentation. That's someone that I know there. And then we also have API for interactive breakouts. And then other ways for engagement, as well as gamification and other ways that we can share media and capture individual library attendance. But then we go into our fully immersive metaverse environment. This is an example of our lobby where we have really the option of taking our attendees in a single player environment or multiplayer with avatars. And you can see here how our avatars work. They actually, you can see the one person there on the left has a video monitor on their head. And that actually will have if a person has their camera on, their image will appear on their avatar, as you can see here on the right. And we can have avatars as customized to the individuals as you like. Depending on what our clients are comfortable with. We also do full volumetric capture, where we can have talent as a part of the event, or we can have executives maybe presenting there, or however we would like to incorporate volumetric capture. You can see again how we're walking around. We have, in this particular environment, you can actually see it's a beach environment there on the bottom. And the top, it's a New York penthouse kind of experience. And we have spatial audio where attendees can actually walk closer to each other and hear each other. And further away, you can have a private conversation. Completely customized environments. We have about 10 right now in our portfolio, but we can create anything that our clients imagine. We can also bring didactic and pre-recorded video into our platforms, and you can actually also play individual videos on there that only you will hear as an attendee, and you can also have downloadable PDFs that will go to your briefcase and really customize your experience there. And an important part also is the exhibit hall experience, where we actually have a booth builder tool for all of the booth owners that can easily upload their content, or we can do it for you if it's easier that way. But it's really also the ability to do a single player environment or multiplayer in this way as well. You can download the content as an attendee. You can reach out for more information and follow-up. You can watch videos. You can ask your attendees to do some kind of gamification or quizzing or some kind of element like that. More kind of video elements, as well as you can have live Zoom meetings and things like that you can connect it to in this environment, or you can have walk around the corner and go into a virtual roundtable discussion in the metaverse as well, depending on what our clients are comfortable with. And there is another environment that we have, which Robin has been to, which is one of our island situations. So that's a quick look at NewSky.
Yeah, and Steve, that's great. I'm going to do a shameless plug for you that if you attend this year's Toady Awards, the Toy of the Year Awards, we will actually have our after party in NewSky XR. And so it gives you a great chance to dress up your avatar, put on your TV head, and explore all the Toady winners. The other thing I love about what you said is your background in real events, because I think that provides years of invaluable lessons learned and things that you can do when you should simulate the real world and when you should just say, this is the digital world, forget it. So, so a really good example of sort of a full soup to nuts answer, and we'll go back and talk more. But now I'd like to introduce Andrew Nash. Now, Andrew's program, and Andrew came up with this name, the Pragmatic Metaverse. Andrew's company started in Germany, doing some very big events there, and is now moving to the States. And he'll take you through, again, a tool set from soup to nuts to make an environmental showcase. So, Andrew, welcome.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you. I think we're going to start with sort of a different perspective, which we have experienced across a lot of very different industries, including events, including collaborative product design. So from the concept of ideation through to execution in the marketing cycle. And we were very focused on creating a platform which was very inclusive. The very first thing we do is we believe everything should be accessible via this device, not via a headset. We're not anti-headset. We think the headset is a wonderful, wonderful toy, and I love living in that environment. Turns out not everybody has one. So if I want to address my audience, I can safely guarantee within 3 to 5 feet of every human I want to address, there's one of these devices, right? So that's what I mean about simplicity and inclusion. Everything I show you today will be browser-based. That requires 0 download, except for my friends here at Microsoft, because I'm doing a quick little PowerPoint demo, but whoops. So the net here is we looked at what were all of the elements of a metaverse that you need to orchestrate and pull together and do it in a very simple way. We want to democratize the metaverse so you can create your own experiences and create thousands and thousands of them. But more importantly, if you're in the toy industry, I don't want to recreate a single experience every time. I want to reuse the assets across the cycle. So to that end, we've actually got a very comprehensive set of tooling in a single platform, all the way from immersive experiences to actual products to actual spaces, which can be either, simulated reality, Matterport scans where we do virtual staging on top of, any or all of the above, and we can tie it all together. Yeah, we have an event platform, but I'm not going to run you through all the event platform. We'll hear a lot about events. We're going to be very product centric today, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to stop share here and just share one very simple example, because I think this might be relevant to someone in the toy industry. Imagine you have this beautiful new bicycle. Now, this little bicycle I can actually annotate. I can put in here. Anybody who wants to have a little bit of fun now and wants to scan this QR code associated with this asset, they can do that on their phone, effective immediately, and there will be 0 download. It'll come up relatively quickly. So I'll leave that there just for a second while anybody can do that. And that's what we mean about pragmatic and interactive. You should be able to just pick up that device and then connect with that particular asset. Now, the more important thing, we can annotate the asset. We can talk about, the chain ring, the pinions. We can go and actually have a look at any different views of this bike. Now, the reason that's important is I'm going to share you an interesting experience that we did in September of 2020. We actually put together the single largest virtual and hybrid event in the world in September 2020. And that's kind of what really birthed the idea here was, if you're at IFA in Berlin, you need to have your trade and exhibit hall up and running, but you need to do it in a fairly simple way and get it going. This is the example of Roborock, who actually built their own experience with our tool. We didn't build it for them. We gave them the tool. They built their own. And that included, for example, one of their devices here. And I want everybody to watch how quickly I can load up that 3D device. So I've now got a viewer inside of a viewer. And there it is. Okay. Now the important
Doesn't have a cat on top of it. I can't believe it.
Now the fun part is this is a build your own experience, and I can put videos in here. I can do product placement, and I want to come back to the world. This important thing, we're not necessarily, if you want to play gaming and go first-person shooter, there are incredible platforms to do that. It's not what we do. We're trying to actually create a very simple democratized experience. You can build and showcase your product. You can place video. You can get connections for follow-up post-conference. Anything in here is just ostensibly a URL link, and we can place an asset in there very, very simply. Okay, now I will show you the way we build that is we also have our own little space viewer, and I can build my own space in here and configure that however I want. And you can see how easy the configuration is to do. I can go down here, and if I want to swap out this human that I want in there, I just swap that human or an avatar out there. If you've got a Ready Player Me avatar, drop it in there. It's all point and shoot, trust me. And if I want to go back to the preview and say, no, let's go with the big booth. Guess what? It's all in 3D. It's all pre-configured, and I'll show you how quickly this one actually loads. This one's got 29 objects in it, and we can have as many objects in as many spaces as you want, and we can chain all the experiences. But more importantly, our customers can do this themselves. So it'll take just a little bit of while. So I'll sort of do a little bit of tap dancing and talking. So that way, it's a real demo.
Well, I'll jump in. So go back to your object. So let's say I have a bicycle. Did you scan that in with a volumetric scanner, or did you render that some other way?
We have multiple ways to bring it in. We can scan it. We can upload a 3D FBX or similar file. So take whatever asset you've got. We also have a photography-based solution where we can do a 360 of the actual asset and process that to create a 3D view. Most of our higher-end customers already have their own 3D assets, though. Now, the other thing that's kind of important is I can also include real Matterport worlds and scans, and I can have marker-based AR in my platform as well. Where I'm getting to is you can actually mix the real world and the metaverse and actually place products in here. I can place video in here. I can do marker-based navigation, and 100% of this is actually done in a browser. Now, the more important thing that we did was we actually did all of this. We ate our own dog food, and we did a press release in September of last year, and we put our entire our product release and our press release through to the media. So if you wanted the media kit, we built this in our own platform, and I can put all the assets in there. If you want the assets, I've got the regular sort of speaker and engagement platform that does the speakers in there. We have our friends there from, you may know, Ori and others, and our friend Neil over at Chronos Group, where we are very actively involved. And then we also have fun. We can also embed similarly pre-recorded videos into the experience themselves, and we can actually build these 3D experiences and put them in here. So I can show you, this is a literally So I won't go too much more because I know we're hitting our time limits, but I just wanted to let you sort of sink in and summarize. You can create whatever experience you want, whatever metaverse you want, but we're very focused on keeping back at the product and the brand and giving the product and the brand all of the tools to create whatever experience. And in summary, it needs to be always on. It shouldn't be episodic. It shouldn't be a once and done and throw it away. It should be always on. It should be an integrated and extensible experience. And more importantly, it should be democratized for everybody, not just those folks who just wear the headsets and have mounted displays.
No, I love that it's 2D, it's 3D, it's AR, it's VR, that there's really, everybody's invited to the party with no barriers to entry.
Yep.
And focus on the pragmatic. So we're going to move on to Touchcast. Again, another had their start in large-scale events and making them beautiful. And now, just recently at the last CES, introduced their concept of a metaverse, which is similar and again, super pragmatic, no barriers to entry. So Tom, I'm going to turn it over to you.
So yeah, you're absolutely right. We launched our enterprise metaverse offering at CES. We were one of the few companies to actually have a big tent. We also did a big virtual version of it, which saved our bacon. We had a huge crowd for that. Obviously, the CES event itself wasn't too busy, but we are partnering with Microsoft, NVIDIA, and Epic. So what you'll see with our offering, and I'll show you a short video in a minute or two, but what you'll see is the highest quality fidelity, the highest quality renderings. We can do world-class digital twins of anything you want. So certainly for the toy industry, we feel like, if you want to get up close and personal with things, whether you're a consumer, whether you're a wholesaler, we'd be a great fit for you. Recently, we've built virtual showrooms for Gucci. We've built them for Microsoft. We got a couple others we can't announce just yet, but the use cases for us would be e-commerce, would be certainly transacting business, etc. Good news for us is, we're in the market now. We are going to be rolling out new features, functionality over time, over the next year. But I wanted to show you kind of the first pass as to what our offering is. So I will share my screen. So this is our M city. This is the camp. You build your campus within this city.
If you want that high rise, you pay accordingly, right?
Yeah.
I'll take
Well,
the bungalow.
claiming your domain is free and claiming land is free, and we'll have a marketplace shortly where you can purchase the tools to build buildings, build campuses, etc. It's pretty cool.
Yep. So I could replicate my world in M City, or I could create just some fantastical world, right?
Yeah, and we're seeing that. So I won't share names, but one company was really, it was important for them to faithfully recreate their stores. Others are looking to have a lot of fun with it. So you'll see things that, you know, very much hew to what you would see in real life, to things that, you know, you certainly couldn't see in real life, and everything in between.
And then Touchcast gives you all the tools that you need to create this, your world.
Yeah, we allow you to work with us however you want. If you want to build the content, you certainly can. If you want us to do it, and I recommend that we do it, we're very good at it. Our team is really first class. But you know, if you want to run the content, you certainly can. If you want us to do it, you can as well.
Well, I can't wait. I did sign up for my space in
yeah,
M City, so I can't wait to start building. And it won't look like my home. It will be better. So thanks, Tom. So there you saw Touchcast. And now I'm going to invite Stas Zavlasky. Stas also began with a fabulous idea to recreate events and has turned into a very robust hybrid environment called Vii Events. Great to have you here.
Thank you, Robin. So glad to be here. And I saw so many different amazing platforms there. My peers love so many ideas, would love to have a conversation with them, bounce ideas off. So really exciting times for all of us. I want to introduce myself first, then I'll share a little bit a demo of my company, of our product of Vii Events platform. So my name is Stas Zavlasky. I'm co-founder and CEO at Vii Events. We started January 2020, so the pandemic kind of was a huge accelerator for our business, for our vision. And so far, just a little bit figures and numbers. So far, we've done more than 750 virtual events. Some of them were as well hybrid events. And it's enterprise level events where about 500 to 2,000 attendees join our platform on the event day. Then our customers build communities that run through entire year, 365 days, doing multiple events, doing webinars on our platform and so on, creating a really immersive engagement with the attendees. And the biggest event we done, and I want to touch this before we start, was with Israeli company called Istadrut. They are a major labor company in Israel. They done an event with 50,000 attendees joined over a span of 3 days. 23,000 joined in the same second on our platform. And during that event, there was 50 top Israeli companies giving jobs. It was a COVID relief program to giving jobs back. It was a career fair. 8,000 jobs were given on our platform on the first day of the event. So that's just a little bit exciting times. You know, this is one I'm really proud of because it makes a real difference, not just in a virtual space, but in the real world. Saying all that, and I'll share a screen. So that's our website. It's really easy to remember, vii.events. We have different customer success stories here and different features that you can view, different stories that we can tell. And of course, our price list is visible on our website, so you can go and see that's really affordable. Now, what we believe at Vii Events, we believe that events are, first of all, stories. So the huge part of the event is a storytelling. And for us, the graphics and the design is not just a pretty face. The graphics must tell a story that must compel the people to do, engage with the event, engage with the different elements that include the event. So this is an event also available for a public for free. We do this yearly. It's called A to Z. If you can go here, a2z.vi.events and join this, it's for free, absolute, and experience how our platform looks for the attendees. So I'll join for a second and I'll then start speaking about it. So you enter, you have this amazing flyby of a 3D London base. This year, we done our A to Z in virtual London. And it's a part of the event because next month we are flying to London to host our event, physical event, and doing the virtual part on our platform, of course. But the physical event is going to be in London in St. Pancras Renaissance Hotel. And as you can see, the whole platform is a 3D immersive graphics, which is photorealistic quality. And we have all the different ton of features that I'll speak in a second. I just want to tell this experience. You can see the Big Ben behind here, and you can see how we placed ourselves in a Big Ben area. So we included a real place, but we built upon it many elements that don't really happen in a Big Ben's area. We have multiple ways of navigation. You can point and click stuff. You can spin 360. By the way, we have both 3D 360, which is more immersive design, and a 2D design, which is also graphical design. But it's a point and click for people who can choose between two different engagements. As well, that is very important. We have an accessibility feature here in all our platforms, because some of the people not lucky enough and they have disabilities, and why they don't need to be left behind. They need to be included. So we have an accessibility feature that is what tested, and everything drops the graphics, and people that have certain disabilities can go and experience the content with their devices that support automatic reading of the content, and experience it the way they can. So they will not left behind, and it's very important for me to share. Now, in this event, we had a London map here, which you can go see in 3D London with all the different areas. The red ones are just the tourist activity. So I can go here to this location, or maybe I'll choose a little bit different. I'll choose, let's say, the Kingston Palace. And then I can spin again 360, in this image, and then I can watch a video about it, see it on TripAdvisor. Like, I'm virtually playing it. It's just for, feeling and enticing people to visit London. Beyond that, they are now joining our content. And of course, there's a content areas that we have sponsor area here, and each sponsor has a different booth. Like we had, I think, 15 sponsors on our event, all event tech in different spaces. And you can engage with them in video conversation, check and book meetings, have one-on-one video meetings, watch their demos, and everything is really interactive and customizable to the smallest detail. And of course, like I mentioned, there we're gonna host our in-person event in St. Pancras Renaissance Hotel. So we thought, why not to have it as well virtually, so people will know how it looks. So this is the iconic St. Pancras Renaissance Hotel, and you can go here and see their magnificent entrance. And you can check them on booking.com, and you can, see their video, and then you can enter. And all our roundtables, we had 15 roundtables with top event speakers held in their virtual hotel here. So you can now check those content on VOD, and our live sessions held here on live now, also available on VOD in the auditorium. And just open just a roundtable. Now, of course, all on VOD, but during the event, those were interactive roundtables where people are joining, like we are here now in this conversation with cameras and microphones. So if we go to the Twine roundtable, now it's of course recorded and it's also available on YouTube, but you'll be able to see in a second when the YouTube loads how it looks for that this per recording. So you see the faces, and they share the presentation, that there were speakers, and they're holding an interactive discussion. Now, some other examples and why we think we are great for the event, for the toy industry. It's that, like many of our friends here on this conversation, we have an ability to put physical products in place. This is an event done by our customer strategies. They are a 3D printers company, and they had this hybrid event there. They created a virtual environment on our platform for their attendees, and the event was in Germany. I will not name the event to not make advertising of it. But as you can see, they have different rooms. This is our physical products that they have, their physical 3D printers. And you can even click on the parts and see what parts those 3D printers produce. And ideally, you can also spin those products in 360. This customer chose not to, but we have this feature on our platform. And you can often go and see the factory floor with all the different elements and industries. And all those are real products of those companies. And let's say I want to go to a dental area now. Dental lab, because we all love dental doctors. So you can see again the parts in a 3D and a very high quality photorealistic. Another customer event is Debra Medical. This event done in virtual Red Square Moscow, including all the amazing landscape from Moscow. So this is a real mall that's taking place in Moscow, and it's really amazing. Of course, we have our own networking system that include one-to-one chats, booking of meetings, planned meetings, live meetings, public chats, so many features. I don't want to bother you with all the details. I can speak hours and hours about it. I'm trying to be very conscious about our time here. Our platform has the widest range of different integration to different event-based technologies, not just event-based, also marketing automation and analytics in real time. And everything is manageable through our back office, through graphics, templates, edit areas, sponsor management, analytics, you name it. Just a little bit show of the analytics and what the level of what things you can expect. So this is a dashboard we created for our event. I'll again roll very fast, and I'll be happy to do demo for anyone who's looking to have one. We can have a very personalized journey details of each entity, what he done at what time during the platform in real time. And then our customers can create a private report. So I can choose number of different events, make a breakdown of what properties I want to see, if it's by user email, by title. It's a Zoom loads a little bit slow, but you can select different breakouts, have different filters, like first name, last name, whatever you want to filter, whatever dashboard you want to create in whatever graphical way or a table, and you can change it on the fly and it just create you a new report. Last thing I want to touch is the price list. So we have 3 packages. One is a growth, which really include the widest range of features available. I think in the industry, we worked very hard on developing the huge live set, and it's only $570 per month billed annually. A premium gives you additional level of features, and you can go again. I will bother you with all details, but we have a full breakdown of all the features of our platform, what does include, what package, and how it works. And the best thing about us, we are not just technology. We love people first, and each of our customers is a success story. Nothing less is not acceptable by me. And really excited for this opportunity, and thank you for your time.
You got it. So you touched on so many things that ran through this thread, but I kept seeing sponsorships and how easy it would be. I mean, I could have the London Bureau of Tourism, and I know when I saw you in Portugal at Web Summit, you had recreated the Web Summit there. So let's put our thinking hats on as we close up this session. You've shown our audience, and a train just went by my house. You have shown our audience some wonderful tools, but now let's put ourselves in their heads. So let's think about the people that would be at Toy Fair, the Mattels, the Hasbros, the Funkos, the Jazzwares, the Wowies, all trying to use these tools to create their digital footprint. What kind of advice would you give to them? And I'll go to you, Steve, first, since we saw you a while ago. What's your advice to a toy company or a toy retailer?
Well, you just mentioned branding opportunities or sponsoring opportunities. We definitely feel like that is something that we love to be creative with our clients about, and really trying to create things that are very memorable, that are going to engage with your audiences as best we can. So we try to like bring products to life, brand activations in the metaverse. So make sure that you're getting a partner that is going to be creative with you to really give you the opportunity, the best opportunity to really bring your toy to life and the experience to life.
Andrew, what's your take on this whole, on creating the right toy environment?
I think ultimately starts, to Steve's point here, it starts with brand. I believe you've got to bring your brand to life and then determine what level of experience do you want in the metaverse. And it really is a create your own adventure. But I'm always going to be starting with brand and with product and with experience, depending on age group and similar. Something that's targeted at 3 to 5 year old is very different from someone in the teens. So you can mix and match your products, your metaverses, and your brand depending on the environment. The key advice is it shouldn't be a one-size-fits-all metaverse. And it's okay to have what I call a megaverse broken into mini-verses, broken into, literally product showcases and showrooms. And the world should just be very simple and interoperable and interconnected. So, really start with the brand. What are you trying to achieve? And it's no different from any other marketing execution.
Right. And as you said, the assets sort of stay the same throughout these things. But I love what you said about the temporal thing. It's there all the time. Once you build it, You can leave it up, you can modify it certainly, but it stays there.
Yeah, and I think this is the most important part of the metaverse. Is it's not a one-time use, one-time destination. If you're really going to invest properly, you're building an always-on experience which is accessible to all, which actually starts to think about the whole world, which means multilingual, which means accessible, which means Stas called out the ADA requirements. I mean, basically, this world has to exist and be inclusive.
Right. And Tom, you're a little different because you're really building a city where we can own real estate.
Yeah.
So what would a toy manufacturer or retailer do in your work in M City?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, it really depends on the audience. So if you're a toy man, if you're a Mattel and you want to talk to wholesalers, for example, that experience would look a lot different than one you'd create for an 8-year-old. I think what's also lost in the metaverse as well is like all the information that's accessible as well. So imagine if you're trying to figure out like, which one do I want to make an order on? What's the weight? What's the risk factor? What are the competitive entrants in the space? Like all of these come into play. So it's not just you have a physical rendering of a Rubik's Cube, but you can figure out everything behind it. That's what's really cool. I think like the companies we've done virtual stores for are really starting to unlock the potential and show like you can get into not just what the Surface Pro looks like, but what is the price? What are the specs? Having really access to everything. And I just think it's, the ability for toy companies to take advantage of this, it's really going to explode in the next couple of years.
Yeah, and I think, Stas, some of your data showed that as well. So we know toy companies will put out a bid for things like sustainable toys or gender neutral toys. And they want to know, that you have the ability on the back end to pull up those characteristics. So you're there,
First
right?
of all, yes, I think that first, a very important thing is, and my friends here covered a lot of it. Experience is the key, and each event, like we discussed in the beginning, tells a unique story. So the event industry need to tell their story, and beyond that, everything, events, we do events because we want to do business most of the times. Sometimes we do fun events like parties, but most of the time we want to know what is the contribution of that event, how people engage with it. So analytics and real-time personalized analytics allow us to react in real time to what's happening on our event, then personalizing the journey for the people, allowing them to meet each other in the right time if that's a networking opportunities, speaking with the right sponsor when the attendee is ready and the sponsor has a value to give them. And my biggest tip will be two things. One, for the event organizers who will organize the toy industry events in different capacities. First of all, you need to understand there is a strategy behind virtual events. Like you plan in-person physical events, you need to plan the flow of your virtual event. Think about attendee value first. If you think what is gonna good to be to attendee and not to your sponsor or to yourself as a platform, then you'll deliver an amazing and incredible event experience, which will result in great business results.
I love it. So if you visit the Toy Association website, you can get more information about NewSky XR and Room and Touchcast and Vii, and urge toy companies, toy manufacturers, retailers, creators, anybody looking to create a larger digital footprint to start looking at companies like these. Thank you so much for your time, Steve, Andrew, Tom, Stas, and hope to see you again soon in the real world. Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.